And the birds were singing so happily, joyfully. Kevin Blanch. Oh, holy cow. What an emotional freak of time this has been. I never thought, I wasn't sure if I'd ever see another beautiful spring day here in Utah, northern Utah this time of year. I'm so in love with it. I never thought, I didn't know if I'd ever see my dogs again. You know, to see the beautiful mighty Ben Lomond I stare at my whole life. You know, I got through this hard freaking part. I'm home. I've been so happy. My dogs came home yesterday. You know, they're running around here. It took them a while. They didn't know who I was. They recognized my Mel. He's 12 years old. He's right there rolling around. He did, but my typical female, 4 months, she's like, oh, who are you? There she is. Come here, girl. Come here. Come on. Come on. Took her a while. She's like, who are you? She was kind of scared at me at first, but I see her. She's out here this morning chasing the same bird she's been chasing in circles for 12 years. You know, so I came through it. So far, it's been a war. What a war. Northern Utah is a gem this time of year. It's magnificent. You know, I tell everybody it's the only place you can shovel a foot of snow one day and mow your lawn the next. That's the way it is here. I'm so happy to be home. I feel so much better. I've come through the two toughest spots on this treatment. I want to address something to cancer, and I think this is extremely, extremely important to anybody who has cancer out there. And I hear you alternative guys. I love you guys. And you make great points, and I understand. You know, you're right on so many levels, and I'm using a lot of different things, but I've got to get through this consolidation chemo. I've got to get through this before I can really get serious about an alternative. I have to keep tons and tons of calories. Cancer victims like me, we have to inhale 2,000–3,000 calories a day. Seriously. You can see people that are getting 3,000 calories in a day and they're still losing weight because it likes to eat you up. But I think this is very, very important I talk about this. I think this happens a lot. We've had a lot of talk. I was misdiagnosed with carcinoid cancer as tumors, abdominal cramping. As I've searched every study that's ever been done as a doctor, there's not many of us out there that have this. Leukemia, blood cancer. And I know it sounds completely crazy and radical and abstract, but it can form in tumors outside the blood. That's what happened to me. And the studies show if you have the surgery to remove the tumors, the mortality rate is like 85%. If you have surgery on those tumors, it's called OS, de novo. All you doctors out there, you young interns that are out there, you cancer people, I wonder how many people die and it never gets diagnosed. Thank God, you know, my last name Blanch, a couple of real famous doctors from this town with the same last name, Dr. Hansen, thank God for that man. Oh my God, he's a great old oncologist in this town. That's 15 doctors had it dead wrong. The surgeon who didn't give a damn was ready to slice me open the next day. Thank God he stepped in, and the reason he did step in is because of my last name. Because his best friends was Thomas Blanch, the famous heart surgeon, started the Arden Clinic. Marshall, thank God for those guys. Thank God. You know, and so he had concern. He's a brilliant man. He dug in. He says, Kevin, this doesn't make sense to me. And I'm a statistical probability guy. I ran regression on a middle-aged man having carcinoid cancer. As the test came back from the pathology report, anything over 0.15 is live or in hell. I came back 0.41. So they're like, oh my God, you know, you probably got 3 months to live. Your only chance is getting it out. And they were going to gouge me all the way open. As the wonderful doctors now at LDS, it's one of the top AML units in the world. They're ex-Huntsman guys that have moved over there. Their line, I love their line. If you want to stay in the hotel right over there, you know, and eat all the great food, you go to the Huntsman. You want to live, you come here. I says, I'll take living. The place is overflowing. This used to be an old man's disease, AML. There are young females in there all over. There's a beautiful young girl from right up here, 23. It's heartbreaking. It's an evil heart. But be known, if you got tumors that are showing up in your body somewhere, and doctors are saying, hey, this is carcinoid cancer or whatever, ask them, could this possibly be leukemia? It's called, the World Health Organization didn't even classify this as leukemia until 9 years ago. It's very hard to diagnose. If I've read the studies, people can't find it. It's rare, but it is an early precursor. It is leukemia. Because for some reason in certain people it'll push out foreign tumors and then try to infiltrate the bone marrow and the blood shortly thereafter, and that's why I'm going through what I'm going through. The chemo and the consolidation rounds hit it so it doesn't go there so far. So I mean, those tumors had wrapped around my bowel, they were killing me. And see, here's the difference. They think carcinoid cancer is a slow growing cancer, and so when they diagnose you with that, and not leukemia. Leukemia is extremely fast, extremely aggressive, incredibly aggressive. It will, I lost 8 pounds in one day. It'll rip the muscle. It's painful. Everybody thinks it's the chemo that's freaking makes you so sick there. These leukemia cells are painful, evil bastards. I thought I was a tough guy. I had level 10 pain. You know, I mean, just purely level 10 for weeks and weeks. And Donald cried from hell, from hell. But ask your doctor, say, hey, do you think that there's a possibility this is what we call de novo or OS leukemia? I think it happens a lot. The doctor, I think it happens a lot. And it never does get diagnosed properly and people die. And I think that's why the studies don't show a lot of them. But I'm so happy to be home in northern Utah. You know, and everybody says, Kevin, your philosophy, the way you think, why have you stayed here? I grew up right here. I grew up right here. Tornado ripped right through here, would have took my house. It was right there. If, you know, it would have been there. But it's like your first love. Your first love. And I don't know if you could hear it when I first started the video, that those are sandhill cranes. They're sitting right up here. They're nesting right up here. Of course, and then the geese. Right down here below where I live is where the Weber-Ogden Delta dumps in. It's one of the greatest flyways in the world. Of course, there's a corporate farm right there, dairy farm, but it's drained it off illegally and dumps right. They've annihilated the whole thing. You know, shit Gibsons is their names. They're creeps. State legislatures. Oh yeah, they're political as you can get. Creeps. They're, you know, corporate welfare to the 10th power. Hardly own any ground. Drained off freaking one of the greatest wetlands in the history of the freaking world. Right here. This is where the mighty Great Basin, the entire Great Basin, the Weber and the Ogden, the whole thing. You're talking one of the biggest dumping for water that comes through this entire Great Basin region. You know. Massive, massive piece of real estate, biggest chunk of the Western United. It all dumps into the Great Salt Lake right here, and so hundreds of thousands of birds, herons, geese, trumpeter swans move through here. This guy has drained it, turned it into a corporate and gets away with it. He's the corporate welfare king, and this is a guy. His son is a state legislator, county commissioner, who tried to repeal the 12th and the 17th Amendment of the Constitution. They're teabaggers. Oh yeah, pull welfare when they're the biggest corporate welfare you've ever seen. But when I was a kid, it's like your first love. You know, you fall in love with this beautiful magnet. These 300 days of sunlight a year with a hawk and trowel in my hand. You know, I'm a plasterer, not a drywall. Big difference. You ever watched a guy with real plaster? Because it doesn't, you have to balance. It takes strength, it takes art, it takes all kinds of dynamics. As Michelangelo himself said, it is the great art. It's like the fine musician with the bow and the violin with strength. It puts muscles all over your body. You go across with that hawk and trowel. This time of year, I'm going all over. With that beautiful Utah sunlight on my back, all these birds, these beautiful, magnificent Ben Lomond. How do you leave her? She's never done you wrong. You know, you fall in love with her when you're a boy. How do you leave it? You don't. You don't. You know, money means shit. It means shit. All the rest of it means shit. You know, have I learned them? The old boys used to say all the time, if you have good relationships and you have your health, you're a rich man. Boy, do I know that now. Oh, do I know that now. I mean, you have health, you have the environment. I mean, this beautiful environment, these guys poison it. Like I said, these corporate welfare scum. They wrote an article in there that says, oh, you don't want to put the one road through there because just to save a few ducks. That's the mentality. You know, the sandhill cranes, the one son comes up to me and says, yeah, we were shooting them because they were eating our seed. I said, you fucking kidding me? Here they are. You can hear them right now. Yeah, that's the sandhills. They're this tall. There's blue herons here. There are trumpeter swans here. Magnificent. You ever seen those things land? Coming right across here. That's why I don't leave here. I never thought I'd see another beautiful spring day. And this time of year is when they all move through. They'll be all. I'll try to get some footage of the trumpeter swans as they move through. They move through into they're magnificent creatures. Incredible. That's why I love the environment so much. That's why I care about environmental poisoning, because I have to watch it in my face. I'm so happy to be home. I'm so happy to be out. I'm so happy to be alive. I feel good. I'll go back in, you know, in and out. I'll be in and out of that hospital for a long time. I got 2 more rounds of chemo. You know, and I am using, I hear you alternative guys loud and clear. And I have watched your websites. I know that I need to go there, and I have one. You know what? Right now, I have to keep a lot of calories in my body. You know, so I don't fade away. I was down to 131 pounds. I'm back to 156. My hair's actually growing back. Went through puberty. You know, my perspective has always been pretty good, but it's so much better now. Things I care about: food. Oh, do I love food? My health, other people, people's children, future generations. If life is a test, which we got taught as boys all across this class edge, 95% of these folks are failing. Thanks for all your support. I love all you guys. And stay with me. I'm not giving up my YouTube site. Well, even though Google and YouTube pulled my AdSense, I don't care. You know, I'm to the point, fuck money. I could care less about fucking money. Money's a fucking, I look back on it. Money's an evil trap. It really is an evil fucking trap. I think it fucking ruins 1,000 times more people than it ever fucking helps. Kevin Blanch.